Hello and welcome to another edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. The Supreme Court resumed hearing of petitions seeking cross-checking of all votes cast on machines with paper receipts. The court asked the election authorities to explain the process and ensure that it was free and fair. The petitioners say voters should be allowed to collect paper slips generated by the EVMs as proof of their vote and deposit it into a box for cross-verification. The election authorities are of the view that such a step will violate the privacy of the voter. The Council for the Election Regulator also dismissed reports that EVMs recorded votes multiple times in favor of a particular political party during mock voting in Kerala state. India's national elections, the world's biggest polls, kick off on Friday with 969 million eligible voters. Security forces conducted marches in the state of Manipur to assure the people that it was safe to come out and vote in the national elections. The tiny northeastern state has 2 seats in parliament, and voting will take place on Friday in one of them, and a week later in the second one. A top official said, a multi-layer security arrangement is in place across the state. Troops from the army, paramilitary forces, and the state police have been deployed in the security operation. The picturesque Indian state that borders Myanmar was rocked by a deadly conflict for more than 2 months last year. The Meitei and Kuki communities are completely segregated as a result of conflicts between them. Over 130 people have died in the violence and almost 60,000 people have fled their homes. A report says Swiss food giant Nestle adds an average of nearly 3 grams of sugar per serving in all 15 Cerelac baby food products sold in India. In contrast, the same products sold in the UK, Germany and Switzerland were found to be sugar-free. Findings by Public Eye criticized Nestle for adding sugar and honey to infant milk and cereal products in several countries, violating international guidelines aimed at preventing obesity and chronic diseases. In its response, Nestle India stated that the company has reduced the total amount of added sugars in its infant cereals portfolio by 30% over the past 5 years. The report also highlighted a lack of transparency in disclosing the amount of added sugar on product packaging. Experts warn that adding sugar to baby products can lead to the risk of nutrition-based disorders in adulthood. As Hindus in India celebrate Ram Navami, over 1 lakh lamps made of clay were lit up on the banks of a river in Uttar Pradesh. A large number of devotees gathered on the banks of Mandakini River in Chitrakoot region to observe the event. They believe Hindu god Ram was born during this time, and the celebrations are held to mark his birth. The day holds special significance among believers, which falls on the 9th day of the Chaitra month, the first in the Hindu lunar calendar. The festival, which is one of India's biggest religious events, runs for 9 days, and it is celebrated across India, sometimes with the rituals being different in line with local customs. U.S. State Department has expressed support for reforms to the United Nations Security Council to include countries with a big population as permanent members. In January, Tesla CEO Elon Musk said India not having a permanent seat at the UN is absurd. He also suggested that Africa should have a collective permanent seat at the UNSC. Spokesman Vedant Patel emphasized the need for the UNSC to reflect on the 21st century world. India, which has been seeking a permanent seat to better represent the developing world, has gained international support over the years. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar also highlighted the growing global support for India's quest for a permanent seat at the UNSC. As a heat wave grips parts of India, traffic police in Gujarat state have been issued special helmets to beat the heat. The AC helmets, as they are called, a reference to the air conditioning effect, help police personnel deployed to the streets to stay cool, even in outdoor temperatures as high as 42 degrees Celsius. The helmet significantly reduces the effect of direct sunlight and has a visor to protect the eyes. During trials, several policemen said the helmet was helpful in doing their work and there was less fatigue. According to reports, there have been incidents of policemen fainting from the effects of heat, which led to the idea of this device as a protection from the sun. Meghalaya state is witnessing a surge in tourism due to its pleasant climate compared to the sweltering heat in most parts of the country. Hotels in Shillong, the state's capital, have sold out, with room rates at their highest. A major attraction for tourists is the double-decker route bridge at Nongret, a village in the East Khasi Hills known for its unique culture and bioengineering wonders. The journey to Nongret involves crossing 2 mountains and descending 3,400 steps, with the last motorable point being Terna village, 60 kilometers from Shillong. The challenging journey culminates in the breathtaking double-decker route bridge. Officials in Dubai have encouraged passengers to go to the airport only if their flights have been confirmed. The advisory comes after heavy downpours and flooding caused widespread disruption to flights at the world's second busiest airport on Tuesday. Approximately 300 flights were cancelled and hundreds more were delayed on Wednesday. Travelers remain stranded without food, as all roads have been cut off by floodwaters. The heavy traffic jams on the surrounding roads are caused by people trying to get to the airport. According to authorities, it is the country's heaviest rainfall in 75 years, and up to 259.5 millimeters of rain fell on the desert nation. Dubai Airport, which served more than 80 million passengers last year, said recovery will take some time. The Skytrax World Airport Awards 2024 has named Doha's Hamad International as the world's best airport, edging out 12-time winner Singapore's Changi. The awards, determined by customer satisfaction surveys, have seen Doha and Singapore leading the race in recent years. In a strong showing for Asia, Seoul Incheon took third place and was named 2024's most family-friendly airport, while Tokyo's Haneda and Narita took fourth and fifth spots respectively. Hong Kong Airport rose 22 positions to 11th place after recovering from COVID-19 impacts. U.S. airports were absent from the top ranks, with Seattle-Tacoma being the highest at 24th. European airports in Paris, Munich, Zurich, and Istanbul maintained the top 10 positions. Other notable changes include New York's JFK falling to 93rd and Melbourne remaining the top Australian airport. Indonesia has declared the highest alert following the eruption of the Ruang volcano in North Sulawesi, leading to the evacuation of hundreds of people and the closure of a provincial airport. The eruption, which sent plumes of lava, rocks, and ash up to 3 kilometers into the sky, has prompted authorities to widen the evacuation zone. More than 800 people have been evacuated so far, with about 1,500 others in high-risk areas needing immediate evacuation. Falling rocks and ash have reportedly damaged homes and forced a hospital to evacuate. Transport authorities shut down the airport in Manado due to ash showers from the eruption. Officials have cordoned off a 6-kilometer area around the volcano and warned of a potential tsunami if parts of the mountain collapse into the ocean. Ukraine's Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal has warned of a potential Third World War if Ukraine loses its conflict with Russia and urged the U.S. Congress to pass the foreign aid bill. President Volodymyr Zelensky had also warned previously that Russia winning the conflict could trigger World War III. Despite opposition from the Republican Party, President Joe Biden affirmed he would sign the aid package into law once passed by Congress. Ukraine's dependence on weapon supplies from the U.S. and the West is critical in its fight against Russia. The congressional impasse has led to Ukraine being outmanned and outgunned. Retired UK General Sir Richard Barrons warns that Ukraine could face defeat without necessary weapons and ammunition. There are also reports that Russia has converted its industrial base into a wartime economy. Police have dismantled a global network accused of using a technology service called LabHost to facilitate fraudulent text messages and online theft. The operation resulted in the arrest of 37 people worldwide. LabHost enabled scammers to send deceptive messages to victims, directing them to fake websites that appeared to be legitimate online payment or shopping services. The criminals were able to steal identity information, including 480,000 card numbers and 64,000 PIN codes. The police estimate that LabHost made nearly $1.25 million in profits. The operation involved the Metropolitan Police, National Crime Agency, City of London Police, and law enforcement bodies in 17 countries. In the UK, 70,000 victims are believed to have been tricked into giving their details online. The investigation is part of a new approach to target criminals offering services to other criminals following the takedown of iSpoof and Lockbit. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.